Welcome to another Cook With Me video. My name is Kaylee, and in today's video we're going to be doing some meal prepping. It is part one of 2 videos, so make sure you press the subscribe button and the notification button so that you don't miss out on the next video. In today's, we're going to be making protein overnight oats 2 different ways, as well as pesto with chicken and gnocchi. For the overnight oats, we're going to do a peanut butter banana chocolate one and a strawberry vanilla almond one. If you watched my last video, the 2023 mindset video, I talk a lot about making life just more simple and more easy, and that's one of the intentions that I set for this year for myself. A lot of us are working or in school, or maybe we have kids, and we're just busy, right? And how many times we're either don't have the time, or we're tired, we don't have any motivation to cook a whole healthy meal and then clean up after. So often we reach for those quick, processed, packaged foods that are not very nutritious and full of a bunch of extra garbage, or we end up going through a drive-through or ordering in or whatever. So I love to meal prep. It has been a game changer for me. It's something that I've always done, but I have really started doing even more this year. Days where I'm working night shifts, I work at the hospital, and I'm just like, oh, I don't feel like cooking. I open my fridge and it's so nice to see containers full of prepped ingredients or meals or whatever, just all this healthy, nutritious, whole homemade foods right in front of me that I can just grab and go. And I'm always really, really grateful to myself for doing it. So even if meal prepping doesn't sound that nice to you, if you don't like leftovers or it just kind of sounds overwhelming, you can totally ingredient prep as well. So your fruits, your vegetables, wash them, peel them, cut them, cook your proteins ahead of time, and have that in your fridge. And then at least it's like ready to go, and you can throw different things together and make different meals out of it. For me personally, I really like to do just like regular old meals as well as ingredient prep, but normally I'll do something for breakfast and something for dinner, and I usually do it for like the next 3 days about, and it is the best. I'm always so happy when I have stuff prepped and ready to go. It's helped me eat so much healthier. It saved me money. I hadn't been eating out or ordering in. Like, if meal prepping for the next 3 or 4 days seems a little bit overwhelming, you can totally just like pick breakfast. Okay, what am I gonna meal prep for breakfast for the next couple days? Overnight oats, or in my next video, egg bites, things like that. Or maybe just dinner. Okay, I'm gonna make a big batch of something now while I have the time and the energy, so that over the next couple days, when I know I'm gonna be working, I'm gonna be busy or whatever, I know I'm gonna have this healthy meal ready to go for dinner or lunch for the next couple of days. So schedule in a time block, like sometime during your week when you know you're not going to be busy. I hope that watching this video inspires and motivates you to start meal prepping, to make your life more simple, more easy, and to reach those goals of being healthier and fueling your body with nutritious foods. Anyways, before I ramble anymore, let's jump into the video. First up, we're making our protein overnight oats. I'm using gluten-free rolled oats. I get these at Costco, but you can use whatever rolled oats you like. Natural, smooth almond butter and peanut butter. I like to get the kind with just nuts as the ingredients. Chocolate and vanilla protein powder, no sugar added plain Greek yogurt, frozen strawberries and frozen bananas. You can use fresh if you like, and I add in a Maca and cacao powder. This is just an optional extra thing that I happen to have, but you don't need to use it. And you can use containers, but I love these little mason jars. I just find them really cute and really simple to throw everything together in them and mix it all up in one thing. So starting off, I put the banana in the microwave and melted it. I'm using a fork to mash it all up, and then putting my peanut butter directly in the bananas so that I can mash it up and mix it all together. I'm putting half of a scoop of chocolate protein powder with some oat milk in a shaker bottle. You can use whatever kind of non-dairy milk or regular milk if you like, and I'm using a shaker bottle, but you don't have to do it. You can actually just put it directly in the container or jar. And I like to use this protein powder because it's lactose free and sweetened with stevia. I usually eat dairy free, but it is lactose that I'm actually allergic to, so I like to at least use a lactose free kind. sweetened. And I'm just putting in half a cup of the oats directly into the jar. Now I'm adding the banana peanut butter mixture. I'm adding a teaspoon of my maca and cacao. Again, this is optional. And then I'm just pouring in the protein powder milk mixture. It's about 2/3, 3/4 of a cup. You kind of just, once you mix it, you can see like here it's a little bit too liquidy, so I do end up adding in some extra oats. You want it to be a little bit liquidy, but you want it to be quite thick because it will thicken overnight, but not a whole lot, so I did add a little bit of extra oats as well. This one is so good. The peanut butter, chocolate, banana flavor is absolutely delicious. For the next one, I'm putting half a scoop of vanilla protein powder in with my oat milk. Again, a lot of the times I use like almond milk or coconut milk, but all I had was oat milk today, so that's what I'm using. Shaking it up in the shaker bottle, but to be honest, lately I haven't even been using the shaker bottle. I just put it right in the jar. Always making a mess. So I just put the frozen strawberries in the microwave to get it all melted. I usually mash them up a little bit more than I'm showing in this video, but I love having like the juices in there, and oh, they're so good. You can use fresh strawberries too, but they are quite expensive. I find it's cheaper to just get the frozen kind. Then we're adding in our almond butter and our vanilla protein powder milk mixture and just mixing it all up till it's well incorporated. You'll see next that I did forget to add the plain Greek yogurt in, so I added in after. This is just an extra source of protein and adds a nice creaminess to them. Recommend putting your overnight oats in the fridge for at least 3 hours, but overnight is obviously best. They get nice and thick. And then I love toppings, so I'm just adding some hemp heart seeds as well as some sliced almonds just for a nice crunch. Now I'm going to show you how I like to make pesto, and it's such a good thing to have in the fridge. You can use it as a spread on your sandwiches, on your toast in the morning with some egg and arugula or spinach. You can put it with gnocchi. That's what I did today. I really like gnocchi because it's super quick and it's like 2 to 3 minutes before they're ready. Fresh garlic, fresh basil, lemon, chicken breast. I'm using organic pumpkin seeds for the nuts in my pesto because that's what I had in my house, but often you usually use like pine nuts. And then I'm using pecorino romano cheese because it is made with sheep's milk, so it doesn't bother me because I am lactose intolerant, but you could totally use Parmesan too because that's what is usually in pesto. So in a large skillet, I'm just adding a bit of avocado in there, and we're just going to slice up our chicken breasts into bite-sized chunks. You could bake the whole chicken breasts and then cut them up after, but I just find it's a little bit easier and quicker to do it this way. I'm adding the chicken to the skillet on medium-high heat and just making sure that it's all thoroughly coated with the avocado oil. I'm going to cook the chicken for 3 to 4 minutes on each side, just making sure that there's no more pink and that they are well cooked. I'm also adding a little bit of salt and pepper to the chicken just to enhance the flavor. I like to season each step of the way while I cook just to help build the depth of flavor. Now I'm going to slice up half of a yellow onion. You could use a whole onion, but I found half was enough, and I'm cutting it into like slices or strips. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you could dice the onion too. There's no rules here. That's the beauty of cooking. You get to just relax, be creative, turn on some music, have fun with it, you know. I give recipes as kind of a guideline and share with you like measurements, but when it comes to cooking, you can really just kind of wing it and do what you like to do, add the ingredients that you like, however much of each thing. And I'm adding mushrooms to mine because I absolutely love mushrooms, just that extra meatiness, and these are ginormous mushrooms, so I'm only doing 3 of them, but you could definitely use more if you like, or yeah, if you're using smaller mushrooms, you might want to use more like 6 or 8, and I'm just cutting them into little quarter slices. Once your chicken is cooked through, I'm just removing it into a separate bowl. I'm using tongs to remove it because I want to keep those juices. Sorry if you can hear Walter's fish in the background right now, but I like to keep the chicken juices in the pan to add more flavor to our onions and mushrooms. I do end up adding a little bit more avocado oil as well, just because I felt like the pan was kind of dry, but I'm going to saute these for, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes until they start to soften. Again, adding salt and pepper each step of the way, and adding salt helps to release the water from the onion and the mushrooms and help them to saute a little bit better and get more soft. Then we're going to bring a large pot of water to a boil, again making sure you salt the water. I'm adding in the gnocchi and I'm going to give it a stir so that they don't stick together as much, and these literally take like 2 to 3 minutes. Once they float to the top, you know they're ready. In the meantime, I'm grating up some Pecorino Romano cheese to add to it. Like I said before, you could use Parmesan, but Pecorino Romano tastes pretty much the same as Parmesan. It has like that nice kind of nutty, salty flavor. And then I'm going to juice a whole lemon. Oh my gosh, Walter's fish in the background. I'm sorry if you can hear that. I'm just going to juice a full lemon. So it's about half of a cup of lemon juice. Again, don't really stress about the measurements. You just want to have a nice lemony flavor, but if you're not a big fan of lemon, then you can just add a little bit, however much you like. Now I'm adding in the pumpkin seeds to a blender, about a cup, and these ones come already toasted, which is really nice, but if you are using other nuts that are raw, you want to make sure that they are lightly toasted, and this just helps bring out the flavor and the oils of the nuts. And then I'm going to Walter's always gotta be with me, checking things out. He's so curious. But anyways, now I'm going to be taking about 3 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to add those into the blender as well. You could add less garlic, more garlic, however much you like. Fresh basil is probably one of my all-time favorite herbs, so I'm adding a ton in here, probably about a cup. I'm just using the whole package that I had. However much you feel is necessary, but you know, you want to go heavy on the basil. It's a pesto, and pesto is basil heavy, so just give her. And then I'm adding arugula to mine as well, just to get in some extra greens. I like the peppery flavor of arugula, so I like to add that into my pestos. You could use spinach too. And then we're pouring in our lemon juice. adding in about half of the Pecorino Romano cheese. Now I like to save some on the side to add into the pesto, like pasta or gnocchi, whatever you're making. It's just nice to have some grated cheese on top after. And because I love garlic, I am adding in a little bit of garlic powder as well. This is totally optional. You do have the garlic cloves in there, or you could substitute one for the other. If you don't have fresh garlic, you could just use the garlic powder. And then while pulsing the blender, I'm slowly pouring in some avocado oil. You could always use olive oil as well. I think that is traditional with pesto, but I didn't have any, so using avocado oil. And you just want to pulse it until it becomes a nice thick saucy texture. Now I'm adding it to the skillet with my sauteed onions and mushrooms. We turn the heat down to medium-low. You don't really, in the video you can kind of see the pesto's boiling, sorry, not boiling, bubbling quite a bit. You don't really want to do that. You just want to cook it for a few minutes just to like warm it through. You don't really want to like do it as much as I'm showing right now. And then I'm using a slotted spoon to transfer the gnocchi from the pot to our pesto mixture, and then adding in our chicken, all of those yummy juices. We're gonna mix that all together until the gnocchi is thoroughly coated. I did add a tiny bit of butter as well. Again, that's totally optional. You don't really need to because there's oil in the pesto, but I like butter, so why not? And then that leftover cheese that we saved, we're gonna sprinkle that onto the pesto gnocchi with a little bit of salt and pepper, of course, because you always want to make sure that your food is well seasoned. And this turned out absolutely amazing. I made a ton and I had it for dinner this night, and then I packed it into a couple of containers to have for lunches to bring to work for the next couple days as well. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you feel inspired to do some cooking, some meal prepping. It is so nice having containers of food ready to go in the fridge that are easy to grab and go. And we'll see you in the next video for part 2 of my meal prep.